Hi everyone, let's dive into the Word. In today's Gospel, we see some of John's disciples being worried about how many people were going to Jesus instead of following John. And instead of responding with envy, John responded back with joy. The main thing that struck me from today's reading is that John had clarity in his role and purpose. He knew that his role was to prepare the pathway to bring others to Jesus. John, he used this analogy of the bride and the bridegroom and the best man to explain to the disciples of his role. Well, in the time of Jesus and John, the best man, had a very special duty in bringing the bride and the bridegroom together, and would have to, listen very attentively to the bridegroom's voice and open the door in the dark for the bridegroom to enter, so that the lovers can, finally meet. And when he hears the voice of the bridegroom, he will rejoice because he has successfully, brought the bride and the bridegroom together. Basically, he has successfully completed his task, and the best man would then leave because his task is completed. He will not grudge because he knows that this is his only task, and which is to bring the bride and the bridegroom together. John, he likened his role to a best man in his purpose and role, and as to why he was, not trying to win back his followers, but pushing others back to Jesus. Because he was very clear that his role was to bring Jesus, the bridegroom, to the people of Israel, which is the bride. And it was because of this that John was able to say, he must increase, I must decrease, with joy in completing his purpose. So how do we cultivate such joy in our lives, especially with so much uncertainty? How many of us can truly say in situations, especially in situations that are unfavorable towards us, how many of us can actually say, he must increase, I must decrease? Very easily we may feel hurt, or we may try to control an unfavorable situation and try to turn that situation to be favorable towards us. That's our natural human nature. But John, in today's gospel, he shows us otherwise. In his humility, he was able to fulfill God's purpose for him. Well, I feel what the gospel is speaking to us is so timely, as we are just few days into the new year. We may have our own goals and our hopes and desires for this new year, but a good question to ask ourselves, is it in God's plan, or whatever hopes that we have for ourselves, is it our own plans? Some of us may be struggling to find joy in our current situation, and maybe secretly hoping that our situation may change for the better this year. Well, John also had to face so many challenges in fulfilling God's purpose. I can imagine it was so tough, trying to speak about the Messiah coming, especially in a time where people were it was very dangerous to speak boldly like that, and I believe that he faced a very challenging situation, and we all know that post baptizing Jesus, eventually John was beheaded and killed. But John was able to face all these challenges and bore all of these with joy. Well, my prayer for you, brothers and sisters, is that that all of us will be able to lead and to let God into our lives, and to able to let him lead, so that we will be able to have and to be able to live with joy in every season and every situation we encounter. My prayer is that we will be able to say joyfully, he must increase and I must decrease. Have a blessed day. God bless. Take care.